Good morning, Pumpkin. Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas to you as well. It is Wednesday, December 24th, Christmas Eve. Oh, I gotta put this light on. There we go. All right. I thought it was a little dark. I hope you're having a great Christmas Eve day or evening, wherever you are. I'm T. Waldron. This is my cat, Pumpkin. And we're here for a little gratitude with attitude. Right, Pumpkin? What do you think? Yeah, she agrees. So let's do a little bit of deep breathing just to get centered. And also, I apologize. I'm doing laundry and my washing machine is on the spin cycle. So it's a little loud. I hope the mic is not picking it up, but I didn't want to interrupt it, and I don't know. I just wasn't sure what would happen if I interrupted it. So there's like 4 or 5 minutes left. So we'll hopefully be okay. So get comfortable. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. And I had a Tai Chi teacher once, and he said he would teach his students, his studio was right next to a fire department. And he would teach his students to be mindful, even if there was alarms going off or things like that. So this could be a little practice of mindfulness, not letting the outside situations affect our inner peace. So inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. And inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And hold it. And then exhale. And exhale out. And inhale in. And exhale. And continue breathing slowly and deeply, because when we can regulate our nervous system, it's a gift to ourselves. Right, Pumpkin? That's right. Okay, back over here. There we go. Yeah, so it's Christmas Eve. It's December 24th here on the East Coast of the U.S. And thanks for tuning in. I'm sure everybody's really busy today. It's a busy time of year for a lot of people. So I want to go back. We're talking about consciousness this week. And does anybody have anything they wanted to add about consciousness? Because I think it's a fascinating topic. And if we don't, I never really paid attention to my spirituality, or, I mean, I went to church and prayed. And I tried to create a relationship with God, but I always had trouble. I felt like I could never get close to God. You know, even though I was praying and following all the rules and going to church and doing nice things for people, I just always felt a separation. And since I've been meditating, and since I've been, you know, talking to God directly and talking to Jesus and all my spirit guides, you know, my folks that have gone ahead before me, my uncle who was a priest, my grandmother, I felt closer to God. I felt closer to one source. And I even felt closer to animals and plants and things in the world. I don't know if that resonates with you, but it's been very powerful. So we talked about on Monday, we do not have a soul, we are a soul. We have a body. Okay, and the body is secondary in the sense of soul. The non-physical reality is our natural state, and that's our home, and that's where we reside. What do you think about that? I tend to agree with that. I've been studying metaphysics, and it's like our soul exists in the universe, and it crystallizes down to form our bodies. Hey, Weasel, welcome. Oh, this is good. Hold on. This is beautiful. You got to love yourself before you can love God. Yeah, and that's such a revelation. I'm going to read that again. You got to love yourself before you can love God. Like you have to really listen to what you say to yourself, because a lot of times we are really mean to ourselves. I used to be, my self-talk was really unkind. It's stuff I never would have said to my friends, and I had to, first hear it and then make a conscious effort to stop doing that. Like, the stuff you say in your mind, would you ever say that to your friend? And for the longest time it was no. But it's been a practice for years. That's great advice, Weaselbox. That's so funny. Yeah, good advice. You got to love yourself before you can love God. Yeah. Hey, Robbie. Yeah. She's 17. Her name is Pumpkin, and she's here for you guys every day. Yeah. Right. You got to love yourself before you love God or others. It's so true, because and if you're a people pleaser like I used to be, I would, oh, what's this person doing? And I would try to get my love from other people. But until I turned that love to myself, and it's not in a selfish way, it's not in a stuck-up way, it's just in a genuine, humble, peaceful way. Yeah, that's great advice. Thank you. Yeah. If you're an animal, what would you be? That's a great question. Wow. I'll see you, Beck, 7742. I used to think an eagle or, something like that. I don't know. Something that has a good view of everything. But some kind of bird maybe that was like but a fierce bird, not like a bird, maybe a bird of prey, not the bird that was prey. How about you? What animal would you be? Yeah, it's hard with the negative self-talk. Yes, it is such a weird thing. I did a video about it maybe 3 years ago, and I said, I've been listening to myself and I'm abusive to myself, right? So, yeah, and we don't even know it, and it may not even be our voice. It may be the voice of a family member or a teacher or an old friend or even society, and we sort of internalize these thoughts and then repeat it to ourselves. And we have so much control because we can change it. But it is practice. It can be a habit. By the way, that's Fractal. She's my other cat. I've got 2 cats. Yeah. All Might. You would like to be a dolphin. Very cool. I hear dolphins are very intelligent. Yeah. Very neat. Deathhawk, welcome. I guess you would like to be a hawk. Yeah. Okay. Oh, orca. Yeah, well, you know what? Not necessarily. Maybe you guys are friends. Let's see. Thoris Fury. Hello. Greetings from Italy. Ciao. Merry Christmas and God bless. You too. Thank you. Yeah, happy Yule, everybody. I've been hitting people hard with stopping the self-negative talk. Beautiful. Yeah. Then you have to really try, and it's a practice. And if you've never done it, it's kind of like, if you have time for maybe a half an hour, write down or put in your phone all the stuff you say to yourself, and then take a look at it, because if you've never done that before, you'll be shocked. I was, and then if it is negative, then one by one say, why do I think this, and where does this come from, and sort of. It's good to analyze our negative beliefs. And I did a whole thing on negative beliefs. I think it was last week or the week it was the week before last. Last week was manifestation. But the week before, we talked about negative beliefs and why we get them, where they come from, and what we can do to neutralize them. Because that's the most important thing, is we have to identify them, but also then what do you do, right? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I wish people loved themselves more too. But you know what? It's not something we're taught, and I think society too looks for external things. Like, oh, if you love yourself, go get a pedicure or take yourself on vacation. It's not that. I mean, it can be that. That's fine. But it's, number one, being kind to yourself, resting enough, having enough water. By the way, cheers. This is just some vitamin drink with some tea. Stay hydrated, have proper nutrition, proper rest, but also go to the gym, do hard things, go for a walk, spend time with friends, call a friend. There's so many different things we can do, and they're free in our day-to-day basis, that we can show ourselves love. And then then we'll start to feel it. You know, I think you have to take action first before you feel it, because you're like, I never really felt it until I did so many things, like going to the gym every day. At first, it was terrible. It's hard, you know, and then over time, you realize you start to become healthy and your body chemistry changes and you say, oh, you know what? This is good. I like this. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, so I agree with you, Weasel. I do wish people loved themselves more. 1999. Oh, thank you. Andrew, hello. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you. Yes, it is a habit you have to practice. It does become easier over time. Now, I would not, I really try to be, it's hard for me to be mean to myself now. It's like the opposite. Because also, Florence Scovel Shinn, my favorite metaphysician, wrote a book around probably about 100 years ago or so called Your Word is Your Wand. We cast spells with our words, whether we know it or not. And our subconscious absorbs everything we say, whether we're thinking it or saying it or writing it. So just be careful with the words you use. Be kind to yourself. And even if you mess up, you can say, oh, you know what? That was a good try. Or, you know, was this a win or a learn? Maybe I learned something from this. So you can definitely be forgiving to yourself. Yeah. Once you can acknowledge it, you can change it. Right, right. And cheers to you as well, Weasel. I appreciate that. Yeah, good morning, Albert's Vets. I wonder if you have a Corvette or if it's something else. Hi, are you welcome? Yeah, let's see. If you're interested, read a book named Algernon by Hossain. I've heard of that. Almighty. Thank you. Jim, welcome. Good morning. Merry Christmas to you too. Suburban, welcome. Yeah, she is great. She's 17 and her name is Pumpkin. My other cat's too. Her name is Fractal, as in fractal geometry. Oh yeah, gee, I don't drink anymore, really. Even when I did drink, I didn't drink wine because it made me really sleepy. So if I were gonna have, I might have a Guinness now and then. I do like a good Guinness because it's like having an espresso, a chocolate, and a beer all rolled into one. So it's kind of a multifunction, delicious drink, and it's a great treat. But yeah, thanks for asking. How about you? What kind of wines do you like? Humans work with inputs and outputs. Be careful what sounds you surround yourself with. Yes. Yeah, and I'm getting into sound healing too lately, because if you have beautiful sounds, it just gives you peace. And there's this new woman out, well, she's not new, but she's a blues singer, Cole Adams. And she did this song about manifesting, which is so cool. And it's like at 432 hertz. So I've been listening to that lately, just pop it in my car, and it's like really singable, and it's fun. So it makes manifesting fun. Yeah. I've noticed it has made a difference in my mental space. Oh, it certainly will, because you're putting yourself in a better place and you're empowering yourself. The words we say to ourselves empower us. Yeah. Yeah. Art, good morning. I'll be looking for Pumpkin leading Santa's sleigh tonight. Pumpkin, are you going to be up late tonight? I might bring her to where we're going for Christmas Eve. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Like, I don't know. Oh, you know what? Fractal's never been out of the house, really. So that might be interesting. It might be too much. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, Guinness is a meal for sure, right? Yeah. Hi there, Chris and Rhea. I'm not sure what that means. So yeah, so we were talking about consciousness, and I think this is an interesting concept. So we're talking about us being energy, us being spirit in our physical body. So we are primarily, our souls are spirit, and then we come into these bodies, and this is a comment. Yeah. Okay. And this person, and it's Bashar. He says each ripple, each pattern of energy with it that excuse me, let me start over. Each ripple, each pattern of energy represents a different idea, a different concept. When our soul decides to have what we call a physical incarnation, it takes some of those patterns and represents the challenges that we choose to face in our physical reality. So this is very empowering, because he's saying that we choose the challenges that come up in our lives, which is, you know, it's kind of shocking. A lot of people, And I used to think I was a victim. I'm like, oh, look what's happening to me. But it's happening for me. If I feel like I've chosen this, then it puts me in a different place to navigate solutions, and it empowers me to say, I can do this, rather than, oh, this has been done to me, woe is me, you know. And it's huge. It's such a paradigm shift, and it can be very difficult too. And he goes on to say, the soul sphere doesn't diminish, it just takes some of those patterns and focuses them in the center of our being, kind of like a crystalline seed. And that's our physical personality and our physical experience. And when we start to investigate and explore and experience our lives, we investigate the idea of consciousness and spirituality, and we start expanding that seed and softening and reconnecting with our spirituality. So what he's saying is, when we come to here on earth and, are born, we become a little crystalline seed. And then over time, we start to learn and get back into our spirituality. I think it's a beautiful metaphor. We start expanding that seed, relaxing the concentrated little seed. And as we relax it, it slightly goes back out to the diameter of our full soul. And in going back outward to the full diameter of the soul, we experience more attributes of the soul, more timelessness, and so forth. So when we expand a little bit, we can open our abilities. And he's saying, even eventually, if we hone our spirituality, we can work on telepathy or psychic functioning, like remote viewing. So that sounds exciting. That sounds very interesting. So I just wanted to share that concept with you. I thought it would be, oh, hello. I thought it would be interesting. Let's see what you guys are up to. By the way, I want to thank our moderator, Imran Hossain, for keeping our chat positive and full of mom energy. Doing a great job, Imran. Let's see. Yeah, thank you, Weasel. Yeah, they're fantastic. That's why I named my channel Chatting with My Cat. Yeah, the obstacle is a part of the journey. Yeah, nobody tells us this. That's so true. And there's another phrase that helped me get through a lot of stuff. Everything happens for me, not to me. So even, I talked about this maybe 2 months ago or so. I came out and somebody had dented my car. And I thought, wow, like I preferred that not to happen. But also, I did not freak out. I didn't let it set me into a bad mood for the rest of the day. I just said, okay, this happened. And that really showed me how much I've grown. So I still prefer that it didn't happen, and it's not cheap to fix, but also it shows me how much I've grown and how much I'm not going to let something like that ruin my day or ruin my week or my life, and that the physical problems or physical challenges don't have power over me is phenomenal. Yeah. Oh, that's a great question. Am I religious? I used to be super religious, okay? 12 years of Catholic school and church every week. My uncle was a priest before he died. But I have recently stepped away and changed directions from religion, because I feel as though I'm more talking to God through love than fear. And for me, that's the way I had to go. Everybody's entitled to their own beliefs and their own systems. But it just, for me, I'm closer to God now than I used to be. And I value, that's the most important thing in my life. So, yeah. Hi there, Mia. Welcome. Everyone is to go through life lessons. Yeah, we all experience things. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Mia. Chris Henry, welcome. So yeah, I'll leave you with that, because it is Christmas Eve, and you may have things to do if you celebrate Christmas Eve. I know I've got a lot of stuff to do. Let's see what Lynn has to say. Let's see. Honestly, after some advice I was given about dealing with psychosis from one of your viewers, that has helped me these past few days. So I just wanted to tell you, thank you, Lynn. And I do recommend, this is not a replacement for professional help, but I'm so glad community can sometimes, we can help each other. And I'm so happy to hear that, Lynn. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too. Benjamin Crocker, welcome. Yeah, 8 a.m. Right, it is. It's 8:20. Yeah, God is love. I went to a Catholic school as well, and they taught a lot about fear. Right. And sad that people miss the point. And one comedian, I think it was Kathleen Madigan, she said, yeah, you know, at Catholic school they taught us, don't bother Jesus. You know, you got to go through your patron saint or your guardian angel or ask Mary. And you know, don't bother Jesus. He's very busy. And whereas other religions are just like, you know, talk to God, talk to Jesus. And it's more open and loving and inclusive. And I don't know, I think that's what God would want us to do, is to talk directly to him or her, you know, and go through Jesus, you know. So I don't know. It's just, I'm working on stuff. I don't know what the answer is, but we all do our best, right? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Wilbur. I appreciate that. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you, Benjamin. Appreciate that. Yeah, have a wonderful Christmas from England. Thank you so much, Green Bunny, and welcome back. Okay, so I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I've got to go feed these cats. And Weasel, thank you so much. Yeah, Dad said you don't need to go to church to have a relationship with God. Right, we go to fellowship. Yeah, we go to church for fellowship. That's beautiful, sure. And thank you, Lynn, and I'm so glad. And peace to you. I hope everybody has a great rest of their day. Sending everybody good vibes. And we'll see you tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Thanks, everybody. From myself to yourself, thank you for joining me on this journey. Pumpkin, can you come up and say goodbye? Come on. Fractal, come up here. Somebody come up and say goodbye. Come on. Come on, you could do it. Nope, they're cats. They're not going to do it. Anyway, take care. Thank you so much. Bye, George. Bye, Weasel. Thanks. Bye-bye, everybody.